Hello, my loves. Welcome to the Power Network. I'm Amy. Bryan Kohberger's already crying that prison is unsafe. Inmates are flooding their dirty toilet water into his cell, and he says he's being harassed in a triple X type of manner. And guess what? He's even naming names. Yes, he is. Let's not forget, he's also upset about not getting his proper nutritional requirements for a growing boy in prison. Stick around because we're breaking it all down. Shout out to my power crew and my Dragonflies. I love you. Hey, replay crew, drop in the comments. Are these real issues or more just weirdness from BK? Because let's face it, he's a real weirdo.
Cavalier's drumming his old guitar again. Words rolling out into our fire. If heaven had wings, I would steal them and fly away with you for a while. Hearing the essence of gratitude, your dreamy little smile on my lips. I miss my cue, but baby, I had you. Miss my cue, but I had you for that day.
Here in the essence of gratitude, it's so good to be back here with my power crew. I'm always happy to be here. And I woke up this morning to this news story about Bryan Kohberger's just not happy in prison. It's just not working out the way he wants it to. So, he's having problems, real issues, and he thinks he has a voice somehow, which, I think he probably does have a voice because they want to keep this guy safe for at least, a certain period of time. But yeah, he's really unhappy. And I think what he's trying to do is get transferred, which I cannot for the life of me understand why he would want to get transferred, because it seems like he has a real cushy kind of cell. His cell is really big. From what I'm reading, it's a handicapped cell because he's got the bars around the toilet, and it looks like he has a nice bed, maybe even a remote on the bed to make it go up and down. It looks like he's got a TV and a cage. So I'm really not sure why he would want to transfer, because where would be a better place than in a huge ass cell by yourself? He doesn't even have a roommate. But he's unhappy. Our little Bri, he's not happy. So we're going to talk about it. Before we get started, if we could do that algorithm dance party that I like to do, just start warming up your fingers and dancing it right up to the hearts and thumbs up button, giving me some DNA so I can dance out into the algorithm party out there. Bring more people back. It's just a free way to help me out, and it's always really appreciated. Today we do have a sponsor. We have Wild Deodorant that is going to sponsor us, and a huge shout out and thank you to Wild. I have tried out different products that have been sent to me to try to bring it to you, and this is the only one that's worked for me that I've liked. I've tried a food product. I tried a meal kit, a few other things, but I didn't like them. But I do like this Wild deodorant, and because the world is pretty wild, so it would make sense that I would like Wild deodorant. Chaos is everywhere. People are losing their damn minds, but you know what shouldn't be wild? The stuff that you put on your skin. That's why I use Wild deodorant. I have autoimmune issues, and it really agrees with me. I'm also a heavy sweater. I've got some I have endometriosis and some other things, that hormonal issues that cause issues with that type of thing. And today's sponsor is Wild deodorant. It's aluminum free, refillable, and always works. But I'm not just rubbing mystery chemicals into my body every day. I used to at one point had a prescription deodorant that was just aluminum, and it like stopped me from sweating completely. But I worry today what it will do, what it's going to do to me, because I've read studies that it gives you Alzheimer's and stuff like that. So I don't want to play around anymore and put stuff into my body, because we're learning about all the stuff that we can't trust that's in our products. And you don't have to worry about this. I've even seen people eating this deodorant. So to show, I won't be doing that, because my stomach is directly attached to my mouth and my head, and I would probably vomit. But I've seen people do it. It's safe enough. And if you want to try it, hit up shopwildrefill.com/parawomen and use my code parawomen for 20% off your first order. Trust me, life's crazy enough. Your deodorant doesn't need to be crazy as well. So, and thank you for any support that you give me. And thank you, Wild. All right, let me get my screen all situated. And I haven't checked my email, Lindsay. So if you emailed me, I haven't checked any of my emails. I'm sorry. Actually, I was watching Diary of a CEO today, and they told, he said, he was a guy, there was a guy on there that if you want to be like a power talker, that you have to, women especially, say we're sorry. We're not supposed to say we're sorry. What we're supposed to say is, thank you for being patient with me while I get back to you. So thank you for being patient with me while I get back to you, Lindsay. I appreciate you emailing me if you did. Okay, guys. So Bryan Kohberger, how are you feeling about this man? I think it's a POS. I think he's maybe even possibly as bad, if not worse, than Chris Watts. And he's my, he's the POS that I like to talk about the most. But Bryan Kohberger, I took some joy, and I don't really like to take joy in people suffering, but he has caused so much suffering that, am I justifying that I'm taking joy in someone else? I don't. Anyway, I'm taking joy in his suffering, period. Because prison isn't, he's got it so cushy the way he's got it cushy. He's got it cushy, cushier than a lot of people, and he's still complaining. Yeah. So one of my, let me get my screen up, and one of my favorite, oh, I thought I shared my screen. Hold on a second. One of my favorite content creators, well, I've got a few of them that we're going to watch today, but one of my favorite is Brian Enteman, and the other one's Jumpsuit Pablo. I was really hoping that Jumpsuit would come out with this newest one. He's been talking a lot about his cell, and hey, Lindsay, are you busy? Do you want to come up and join me and talk about this? Because I mean, if you're busy, that's fine. But if you want to join me, I can put the link down there. And maybe, because I'm just doing secondhand knowledge, so, but if you don't have to, if you're busy, I get it too. But so anyway, Brian Enteman started talking. He's the one that brought this case first. That I got to stop talking and just get this up here. Hold on. Okay, so he brought this case and said that Brian is just not, okay, here, I'll put it down in the, I'll drop the link, and then when you're ready to come in, you can just come in when you're ready. So he started talking about how Brian is really unhappy. And not only that, Brian is naming names. He's literally name dropping. He's writing reports and putting prisoners' names in it. I can't imagine this is going to end well for this man. And he's already in high-level protective custody. I don't know. I really just don't even know. All right. I'm having a hard time multitasking today, so let me just get the link for her. I hate when I have problems multitasking. Okay, there's the link for when you're ready, Lindsay. Okay, so this is Brian Enteman, and he's talking about it. He's very quick with his information, and it's one of the reasons I like it. And then like, he's like, I'm talking about this, and then I'm going off to talk about the Menendez. I'm driving to California. So he lives the life. And I think he's a really good guy. And that's why I like hearing from him. But this is what he has to say.
Thursday and Friday. But while I was flying, I got the reports from the Idaho Department of Corrections regarding Bryan Kohberger's complaints. Remember, we had reported, we knew that he was complaining about conditions and things like that. Well, now we have the actual reports, which are interesting to read, and some of them are actually handwritten by him, which I'm going to show you. But first, I want to read you this summary of incident report. And they categorize it as sexual harassment. And remember, again, Bryan Kohberger is in the maximum security prison in Idaho. It says, on August 3rd, 2025, resident Kohberger, IDOC 163214, submitted a concern form stating he has been subject to threats and harassment, recently escalating to overt sexually violent threat statements. Lieutenant Maland received the concern form on August 4th, 2025, and conducted an interview with Kohberger in J Block. Kohberger stated a resident that goes by Peru told him, and some of this is just dirty, so I'm not going to say it, but a resident that goes by the name Peru told him, I'll BF. Kohberger also stated an unknown resident from Tier 1 of J Block said the only A we'll be eating is Kohberger's. Kohberger stated that officer.
Well, there's the guy's name is Peru, and they're not like even face to face with him. These are just things that they're yelling out to him, and he's not happy about it.
Sir Signoria was present for the comment made by Peru. Due to Officer Signoria being on B nights, an interview could not be conducted to attempt to corroborate this allegation. On August 7th, 2025, Officer Signoria submitted an information report outlining his involvement of the alleged incident. Officer Signoria recalls vulgar language being used and directed towards Kohberger, but could not identify who said what. The allegation is substantiated, but due to no aggressor being able to be positively identified, and Kohberger saying he feels safe to remain on Tier 2 and J Block, no further actions were taken. The delay in the 105 submission date and the report date is due to collecting all the information to ensure proper action could be taken. So that's the first report that we got. These other ones are handwritten here. This one is written by Bryan Kohberger. This has to do with, I think, to do with food. It says, I have on several occasions not received all items of food on my tray. I addressed this during service and have yet to receive any replacements. In fact, the kitchen is not even called. The policy book.
Isn't it funny that he's not receiving food on his tray and he expects replacements when Chris Watts was getting air trays? He was getting nothing in his trays, and then they had to transfer them. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get transferred out of the Idaho system. That could be a play in his book.
Confirms, and then it says items missing. Sorry, the handwriting's not good. Which are pointed out at time of service will be replaced. I wish to, without exception, receive these replacements. And then it says, I've tried to solve this problem informally by addressing the issue with staff at the time of meal service. I suggest the following solution for the problem. I wish for the items to be called for and items replaced when this occurs. The nutritional standard is not being upheld unless I have my full tray. And then you see where Bryan Kohberger signs. And the date of that one was on July 31st, 2025. So he's complaining about not getting the food he thinks he deserves. And then this one is from July 30th. As I continue the SPI phase, I wish to discuss if I may be transferred to another, I can't tell what this says, ACSEG setting as B block, not engaging in any of the recent flooding, striking, as well as being subject to minute-by-minute verbal threats.
Yeah, so that's a problem for Bryan. Bryan came in during a time where there was a food strike going on. So there were, I think I heard there was about 20 people that were on a food strike. And so they were striking and flooding their cells. So they weren't even really flooding his cell. They were just flooding cells. And Bryan, of course, was not partaking in those activities.
Again, the handwriting is not good. Harassment. 2 of J Block, and is an environment that I wish to transfer from. If possible, I request transfer to B Block immediately. I wish to speak with you soon. Looks like he's trying to talk to the deputy warden here, Deputy Warden Dietz. When he talks about flooding, striking, so when I was there, remember I did the tour of the prison before the sentencing. There was a strike going on. There were two, like basically the way it was explained to me, two gangs in the prison, and they were striking, like by not eating. It was a food strike because they wanted to be with their gang members and they had been separated. The whole thing was really bizarre. So I think that might be what he's referring to when he talks about flooding. I was told when I was there, sometimes they have to turn the water off because there are certain inmates who will try to flood their cells to like protest things. So he may be referring to that. And then the staff section here says, Mr. Kohberger, on any tier, there are sometimes disruptions to operations such as residents flooding.
And Bryan is so full of himself that they're not flooding their cell out of protest to the prison. They're flooding their cells to get back at Bryan Kohberger.
Again, I saw that when I was there at the flooding. On J2, it is a relatively rare occurrence, and J2 is generally a fairly calm and quieter tier. I do not think that B block would be any better for you. Give it some time. So they're telling him to give it some time. And the way it's set up there when I went to this prison, he's in solitary confinement. So you're in the cell by yourself, but you can hear the prisoners from other cells. So when he's saying that he's received threats, maybe he's just like hearing them yelling from other cells, or sometimes when they're taken out, they'll pass by other cells or they'll see each other outside, even though they're kept totally separate. So that's what he may be referring to in terms of saying he's receiving threats, but he's not like in the room with anyone else. So he's not physically threatened because he's in isolation. So he's been complaining, which is, it is what it is. And also, I wanted to give you guys an update. Well, there really isn't an update, but you remember the video that was leaked, the video that was leaked of Bryan Kohberger inside the prison hasn't fully been authenticated, but we know didn't come from Ada County Jail, didn't come from Latah County Jail, and the prison.
Okay, I see Lindsay's here. Let me get my screen together. I gotta fix my layout. I didn't add a second person layout. So give me 1 second. Wait. Okay. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. I'm so happy because I don't know, I don't know a whole lot about prison, but I'm so interested in it, and so I'm always watching YouTubers and TikToks about prison. And for those that don't know, Lindsay, well, why don't you say Lindsay? Because I don't remember the exact prison.
Oh, yeah, of course. So my name is Lindsay Valandry. I was in Lowell Correctional Institution I was 23, I'm 37 now, so it's been quite a few years, but that's when I was there, and I was there for a little over a year, and we did a stream together about because Sarah Boone is actually going to be was probably going to be located exactly where I was.
I think she is right where you are now. She got moved. She's permanently there. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. The annex at Lowell CI. It's in Ocala, Florida. Wow. Yeah. I haven't followed her much, and I'd like to see what's going on.
We should do up on her because she's going and she's been in family court a lot. Because her alimony was, of course, canceled, and she doesn't think that's fair.
Really?
Yeah. So she's been fighting her ex-husband and her son, and it's just been horrible.
Wow. That's insane. Yeah. Definitely love to talk about that.
Yeah. So have you been following Bryan Kohberger?
Yeah. I actually watched that gentleman you just had on. I watched him this morning too, and I was like, oh my goodness. I saw he was going to the Menendez thing too in California, and I'm interested in that as well. But wow, yeah. He's complaining a lot, it seems like. I see this story a lot. it's been a couple weeks now, right? And I've heard
He
numerous
just got
stories.
there. He
How
just
long
got
was it?
there.
Was it a week? 2 weeks?
I would say maybe 2 weeks he's been there.
Okay. Yeah, ever since he got there, then it's been.
First it was a video was leaked.
Yeah.
And then he's been complaining. He was saying that they were keeping him up all night. They were pounding on his door. And now he's writing these things to the talking to the guards and naming names. That shocks me that he's naming names.
Yeah. That's wild. I don't know what he's thinking. I like what Jen C said. If he couldn't do the time, you shouldn't have done the crime. It's
right.
It's so interesting to see how he's already kind of, I mean, obviously I knew that the inmates were probably going to do this to him. He did murder some, very young people, especially, young females. And I think prison code is, women and children, especially, like, that's not a cool thing, when people harm women and children. In my opinion, that's just what I've always heard and seen. And so I kind of anticipated that, but to see him just writing that and how he speaks, it's very interesting, to say the least. I don't know.
Yeah, he's got some form of autism, but I mean,
for sure,
it's not an excuse, but geez.
I know. Yeah.
Look at his hands. Have you seen his hands?
No.
Hands. He washes his hands so much that they're like beet red like that.
Wow. He must have an OCD.
Yeah. One of the prisoner, or when he was in jail, one of the guys that was with him said that he was up all night and that he was washing his hands all day and all night and keeping people up. So he's got these red hands, and I like to watch. Do you like Jumpsuit, Pablo?
No, I just subscribed to him because you mentioned him, and so I'm interested to see his streams now.
Oh, okay. Well, this is one of his videos, and he is talking about the redness in his hands, the strange red hands, explained by an ex-con. And in it, he talks about. We'll look at it. I'll play a quick clip of it so you can get a feel for his vibe.
Bryan Kohberger's hands so extremely red in this illegally leaked footage of him in his new prison cell. And also, what is this big brown bag on the floor? On top of that, what are these weird items on his bed? And finally, a few more things that you and other people on YouTube have either completely overlooked or just not noticed at all, explained in full from someone who has done 10 years recently in a state prison system himself. I know exactly what I'm looking at with all of these questions. And all of those questions will get.
So he was with Alex Murdaugh. That was the prison he was in. And
really?
Yeah. So he started out covering Alex. He likes to do Wade Wilson. He's doing the Mackenzie Sharilla, which I think I might have to get into her, because
I know, I thought about that too. I watched a lot of her, and I'm fascinated, especially her mother. That's a very interesting
enabler. Yeah, her mother's an enabler.
Sad.
Yeah, very sad. So, but he talks about Bryan a lot. He hasn't done the one yet about this recent one. So, do you know Viking Mindset? Do you watch him?
No, I'll add him though.
Okay. Well, he's a little more Jumpsuit's funnier, like he's funny. This guy's a little more in your face, like kind of like, well, he's in your face. So, and some people don't like it, but I like it. I like people that are like, I like the church lady all the way down to the people that swear. I don't care. I like I'm a person that would go from group to group because I just like variety. So, I'm just letting people know, because the last time I played him, some people were like, what? But yeah. So Here we go.
Let's break down the most recent incident that's happened with Bryan Kohberger, as he's written a kite to the COs begging to get transferred out of his isolation cell, saying he's being sexually harassed. As inmates have said, the only ass we'll be eating is Kohberger's. The video I'm gonna show you guys, they talk about how they flooded the cells. But see, in confinement, they'll do that all the time. You know, if the food's not right or whatever it is, they'll just straight just pop off in there. You know, Rex.
Do women do that? Do they flood their cells like that?
I did not have that where I was, but I understand that they do that in ADSEG, you know, where they're, well, also in psych, I think they do that as well. That's what I heard when I was up there, that happens there a lot. And I was like, wow. Okay.
Like, who wants to be in shit water? I just like, that's so unsanitary. It's already unsanitary. Like,
yeah. I don't know how often or what the deal is, but I did hear that from people. I don't know exactly how much or how true that is, but that's bizarre to me.
Just seems like women would do it maybe less than men because of
so,
sanitary reasons.
Yeah, I would probably think so.
Yeah.
And privileges aren't coming. They've been locked down, no dog cage for 8 or 9 months. But in this case, they're flooding the cells and all the shit and piss water is going directly into his cell. In the video I'm about to show you, one of the inmates tells Brittany Kohberger, I want to butt fuck you. And little Snowflake told the officer, and the officer said,
he's not afraid to say the words. I guess that's what I was trying to say. He's not afraid to say it. Yeah.
Heard a lot of bad stuff, but I didn't see who said it. This is an isolation unit. Think about that. Yeah. Let's watch this video, and I'll break it down after.
Writes not engaging in any of the recent flooding/striking, as well as being subject to minute-by-minute verbal threats/harassment. And on that and other bases, Unit 2 of J Block is an environment that I wish to transfer from. Days later, on August 4th, Kohberger complained of sexual harassment. An incident notification report obtained by E! says guard had witnessed the alleged threats. However, a response from the officer noted in the report says he recalls vulgar language being used and directed towards Kohberger, but could not identify who said what.
And you know what really grinds my gears?
It says that they're saying it behind doors. And isn't that what they do all day long? I mean, what else do they have to do?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All day. All night.
And all night.
Oh, gosh.
This is when I get messages. I understand. I respect everyone's opinion about people being innocent. Come on now. What person on earth would ever plead guilty to taking
I have a real
people
issue
out?
with, there's a whole section of people out there that are trying to say that it's a setup and Bryan wasn't guilty and they made him do this and this is a cover up. And I'm just like, really?
What?
I mean, really? Sometimes, yeah, maybe I have a real issue with the Delphi case. I'm really suspect of that case, but Bryan Kohberger, come on.
Yeah, no.
Out in the prime of their lives to avoid death row.
Right.
If you didn't do it, let the evidence speak. No, you're a coward. You got caught. You can make as many conspiracy theories and do all this and do all that. But the reality is this. I've been in prison too long, unfortunately. And I know a coward. I know a sweetheart when I see one. And Brittany went to school, played the video games, did it all, except experienced it in real life. There's a saying in prison, and they say, oh, look, out here, you know, he's this predator. He's the Hannibal Lecter. In prison, you're just another bitch-ass inmate getting extorted. They're flooding the cells. Shit's all in there. Dudes are saying stuff that is so wicked. In his mind, he's running to try to use that as a transfer, and the officer says, I know what the fuck you're talking about.
Where does he think he's going to transfer to, Lindsay?
I don't know. I'm wondering what he's really thinking, if that's really what his goal is, because he has to know that this is going to happen probably wherever he goes. Doesn't make
well, you know, they did transfer Chris from Colorado to Waupun, Wisconsin. Maybe he thinks that's the better place to go, where all the hard, like, because I mean, I don't know.
it doesn't make any sense because I think it will probably happen everywhere. I don't know. And it seems like he has a TV and everything. That's pretty posh. I don't know.
I know, isn't it? Did you have a TV in your first prison cell? And was your cell even that big? Did you see how
No.
big his cell was?
I saw it. Yeah, no, they're very small, and you have a bunkmate, usually roommate, it's whatever you want to call it, and yeah, that's bizarre. It's very bizarre.
Another thing that Jumpsuit Pablo always points out, and I think I'm always interested in the psychology of things. Everybody's saying he's so OCD and he's this and that. But if you look at this cell, this is not the cell of an OCD person. His shoes aren't lined up. He's got toilet paper and a towel here. Up here, he cleaned his shoes. He cleaned these black shoes with a toilet paper and then took the toilet paper and put it right here.
Yeah.
Not here in the garbage, right here.
That's fascinating because I have seen this sometimes to where some people have extreme OCD with certain rituals and behaviors and then totally not with other things, and it's bizarre. I don't know. It is possible, but I don't know what.
I thought it was interesting too. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, you didn't.
But I thought it was interesting too. You see how in this video, Jumpsuit was talking about, like, see, he puts that paper up there, but then he's just standing there and like, it looks like he's like listening and looking around. And he said, like, this is probably where the guys are probably yelling out to him these things because it looks like he's listening.
Yeah, probably. You know, that bag that's next to him is probably the bag he transferred with from the county jail to there. It could be where they put your belongings in. Yeah, it could be. I don't know if that's.
Jumpsuit seemed to think that maybe it was a lunch bag.
Does it look? I can't tell the size.
It looks huge for a lunch bag, but
yeah. Interesting.
And he said that he probably wouldn't still have the bag because he had been there for 2 weeks. So he said on the weekend they just shove a bag in when they feed you. I don't know. Did they like? You said the food was good where you were though, right?
Yeah, but if he's in a cell by himself, they might do the bag thing. That might definitely be what it is. Then I didn't realize. I totally didn't even put that in my head that he is in a cell by himself. What is he there 23 hours a day? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in PC, right?
Yeah, and it's huge. I just cannot get over how. And look at that bed. It looks
what
like
is
a very
on there?
big. Well, one person said that they thought that. Hold on, let me get it. They thought that one of the things was a remote control for the TV, so they thought this was the remote. And then another person said it was another remote for the bed. But Jumpsuit Pablo said that like. They come and check you 3 times a day and you have to show your ID. And he probably said like it's after lunch or whatever. And they're about to come around and he just has it sitting out waiting.
Yeah, it kind of looks like an ID. It kind of looks like you can see a little darker bit on the right side. Like maybe his picture is there. Interesting.
I want to have Jumpsuit Pablo on. I tried to email him. I tried to. Weird things happen. I'm a blonde. I was a blonde, now I'm gray, but I was, and so I do weird things and I don't even realize I'm doing it, but I accidentally emailed the wrong person. I emailed the cam model accidentally and they wanted to come on and I didn't know how to answer it. I was like,
oh no,
Jumpsuit Pablo, what am I doing with my life here? But so I'm going to try to email him again. If I do, I will definitely invite you on too, honey, if you want to.
Cool. I would love to. That would be great.
Yeah. I think you would be great getting into prison talk and just talking like I know my highest videos that I do are when I invite people that are like were in prison or worked in the prison. People are very interested in prison reform. So
wow, cool.
There's also another prison channel that I like to watch. It's Marcy Marie on the Rec Yard, and she does it with another person that she was in prison with. They were in Texas prison, so that's another. And she actually is somebody who is now going out into Congress and talking about these things. So she's a good person to get in touch with too.
Cool.
Okay, so getting back to Bryan, but look how red he is. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Jumpsuit Pablo said too. I don't mean to keep saying him because he's my favorite one because he's funny, but he also explains it, and I appreciate that. I also like Christina Randall, but she doesn't do as many as he does. But he also said that it's the soap. The prison soap will make you so red, and if he's using it like over and over. And there were also rumors that he would spend it, which I can't imagine they're letting him do in prison, but in jail he would spend an hour in the shower.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's the soap dries you out from what I remember, at least where I was. It was really, the liquid soap was very it was nasty. It dried my skin out. The water too was like really harsh water. I don't know, hard water. I don't know. You know, it was not good on my skin.
Yeah. Well, I just put a little quick TikTok up today of Lori Vallow, and in just 5 years, the amount of aging she's done without her skincare products in the Florida, or not the Florida, the where is she at?
I don't even
Idaho? She in Idaho? No. I don't remember where she is. I think she is in Idaho. I don't know. A lot of stuff's been going down in Idaho. But she's like, her skin is sagging from it all without her Botox.
I know. Seriously.
I think about that. Like if I went to prison, I would age so quickly because once you hit a certain age, you've got to take care of your skin or it's just over. And
I started getting gray hair when I was 23 in jail. Like literally that's when it started. It was so crazy.
Oh.
Yeah.
So here is another video by Jumpsuit. This is Bryan Kohberger snitches on deadly inmate. I thought we'd take a quick look at that. Because that can't be good, because how is he ever going to be put into, I bet you he's assuring that he's never going to be put in general population, right?
I think so. That's I can't believe he did that.
But they can still get you in your cells.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or in the shower.
Well, yeah, and they also it depends too, because certain prisons and jails, they have the inmates, running stuff. Like that's their job, and they're taking food or like books, things like that, and it'd be easy.
Kim says that I came across a video where they were breaking down the full security tape audio, kind of like what you do for a ghost hunt. Well, I try to debunk it. That's what I do. Saying that the cops edited the video to hide audio. It was crazy, they said. Oh, so they edited it?
Wow.
Well, I mean, it had to have come from a security or a prison correction officer, because it looks like it's being taped off of a TV. So yeah, I guess it would make sense that they could hear all kinds of different stuff. I didn't hear anything, and I left a comment saying that innocent people don't plead guilty.
Right.
Oh, must have been one of those channels that was like Bryan's innocent, and they're like doing this and that to him.
Oh, geez.
I don't think prisoners should be tortured, Lindsay, but I don't think he should. Like people that like do horrible things like this, I have a real hard time with.
Yeah, me too.
I truly believe in prison. Sorry, I keep cutting you off. I'm sorry.
No, I cut you off. I'm sorry.
I truly believe in prison reform. I really do. It's got to get better. But for people like this, this is too nice for me.
Yeah. It's an interesting subject too when you get into it, right? It's just, I don't know.
What is the answer? What is the answer?
Exactly. I don't know. It's like we'll go round and round with this for so long, I'm sure. But innocent don't plead guilty is what you guys are saying is it's such a strong statement, right?
It is. I mean, I think some do. I think in it back, like what about the Central Park kids? Like when you're a certain age, when they can intimidate you, or you're a certain you have a certain mental capacity, I think they can
me too. False confessions.
Yeah, false confessions, exactly. but I don't think Bryan was intimidated, coerced. I mean, and he did it. I believe 100% he did it.
Yeah, me too.
He said he did it.
Yeah. It's, you know, the picture that where did he post that picture where he was smiling? I think he had a thumbs up after.
Yes, this one. That one.
Yeah, that one. He looks like as if, I mean, in my opinion, because you know how, you know, psychopaths and serial killers, how it's almost like it's like pressing on them, and then they have like a release. Usually they talk about after they commit the acts, the murders or whatever. And he looks like he's just glowing, but any other time I see him, he's dead behind the eyes, in my opinion. He just looks vacant, you know. It's
And
weird.
apparently he calls his mom all the time. Like he talks to his mom the most, like nonstop. He talks to his mom. And before the unalivings, he called his mom. After the unalivings, he called his mom. The next day, when he was on his way back there, he called his mom.
Wow,
So he's a mama's boy too.
I often, like, not to go off on a tangent, but like when I see, you know, is that one Mackenzie young woman as well with her mother, and I heard the phone calls. It's like, I don't know if as a mother, if that were my child, like that is just, I mean, I'd like to say I'd love my child, but man, I don't know. That's
Yeah.
just,
I know I would continue to love my child, but I wouldn't co-sign their bullshit. I would let them know exactly how I felt about it, but I think I would never be able to stop loving them.
Right.
And I would probably still talk to them, but I would not be on, you know, on the phone saying these things or victim blaming or that's just gross.
right, for sure. Yeah.
But I get a mother's love. I do
Yeah.
get that. Even though I'm not a mother, I do get it.
Yeah, it's a weird thing that I thought about seeing.
But can you imagine the mother's shame too? The shame I would feel. Oh,
yeah, absolutely. And thinking like, where did I go wrong? Even though we know it's probably nothing to do with the parent. I mean, I guess, you know, some things can contribute maybe, but that's another argument.
yeah, it's a whole other argument.
Interesting.
Okay, so let's take a look at who he's snitching on.
Yeah.
Could take in a dangerous prison ever. Many news medias are reporting he was already being harassed and bothered by inmates who banded together to drive him crazy, which just simply isn't true. But
He also has a lot of inside contacts, this guy. So he has a lot of videos from inside prisons that he's able to show.
Wow.
It's interesting.
Crazy.
now
Did you have cell phones in your prison where you were?
No, and now I understand that they're able to email and text and do all these things. We didn't have any of the tablets or any of that kind of electronic stuff.
Did people have cell phones that they hid and stuff?
Not that I didn't know anybody that did, but I'm sure that it happened.
Yeah. Sure. I guess what they do is they won't hide them inside their cell. They'll hide them outside. And that way, if, you know, they do a search, that if they find them outside the cell, they can't really say whose it is. But also then your phone gets stolen really easy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've heard as well. Yeah, for sure.
Guarantee he surely, or at least very likely, will be. Why nobody was ever really bothering him in the first place? Why Bryan said they were? What the news has wrong? And finally, why, regardless of all of that, Bryan has now officially screwed himself. I'll explain everything.
And he shows like how people talk to each other through the vents. Yeah. And apparently they're even doing like putting urine and feces through the vents. That's to smells and odors and stuff.
Terrible.
So gross.
I know. Gross. Like that literally affects you as well. Why?
I know. Ugh.
Crazy.
Let's get started. Old.
Guys, we will often, everything that we watch, sometimes I stop and start it. We don't play it in its entirety, but I put everything that we watch over in the YouTube show notes. We do this to cite our sources and for fair play use. Today, we're coming to you on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So hi, everybody. If you could just show us that love on the platform that you're viewing us on. Today, we have Lindsay Valerie that is with us. She did some time in a Florida prison, and so she's giving us a little insight on this.
Stupid decision. As someone who's done 10 years in prison, sorry if you're here all the time. You're
Is
tired
it Valandry or Valenry?
Valandry. It's
Valandry. Oh, I
yeah.
totally had it wrong.
me saying that. If you're new here, you need to know where I'm coming from. As someone who's done 10 years in prison, I'm telling you. So first of all, the media is reporting, oh, Bryan Kohberger is being harassed by inmates. They're yelling through the vents. We got some guy from the interview room going on News Nation saying, it's funny. I made a video about this already. So I'm going to recap real quick that bullet point in the 4 that I'm going to go over with you that I mentioned in the intro. So if you've already seen that video, hang tight. I will make it quick.
He's really annoyed because there's these, I'm a little annoyed by it too. There's this whole group of guys, these old guys that are covering all of this, and they don't know what they're talking about. They're not even trying to get people who know what they're talking about, and they're just regurgitating this stuff. And he went on one Surviving the Survivor, and he kind of gave the lowdown. I don't know why you wouldn't have people that were in prison that know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right, for sure.
You got this guy, I made the video and I said, hey, all the news is saying Bryan's being harassed by all the inmates who are yelling through their vents, harassing him, tormenting him day and night. He can't get any sleep. They're driving him insane. First of all, he's already insane. Second of all the inmates are not doing that. It's impossible to do that through the vents. I explained the ventilation system and how there are only maximum 4 cells connected, including Bryan's, at a time. Therefore, only 3 inmates maximum are able to even communicate with him through the vents. I explained how this is a common way for people to pass time in there. It's often, you got your foursome and you talk about all types of things from A to Z. And if you got someone who clearly doesn't want to participate when you are in that cell 23 hours a day, and this is kind of your main way of passing time, it kind of sucks. It kind of kills the vibe. Yes, there is a vibe to be killed in prison. Go figure.
True.
Bunch of inmates twiddling their.
So, I mean, I can see Bryan doing this, can't you?
Yeah, for sure.
Not participating. And I can see guys then trying to goad him, we're going to eat Kohberger burger, whatever they were saying. I can see it happening.
Yeah, he's, oh, God.
Thumbs, they want to talk about stuff. We got a 4th guy. He could tell his stories, especially some guy that we've seen on the news. I mean, hey, we want to talk to you, but you're being all weird and you're being all quiet and we're calling out to you. We know you hear us. We know that you can hear us through this vent, clearly. And you're not talking. So you're being a little weird. So they're probably, they don't care about your feelings in there. They're probably giving them a little crap, a little bit of hazing, a little bit of, a little elbow in the side. Hey, man, oh, man, come on, Hollywood. You're too good to talk to us. Oh, you're on the news. Now you don't want to talk to us little inmates, huh? Come on, speak up. Cat got your tongue,
Yeah.
No one's in there threatening his life or anything. As I've mentioned, he's in there with the baddest of the baddest of the baddest. And as someone who is nowhere near the baddest, during my time in prison for 10 years, I can tell you, I've seen the baddest. The baddest are not going to be yelling through the vent, telling you, oh, I'm going to get you, boy. Yeah. You just wait. I'm going, They're not going to say nothing.
Mm-mm.
They're just going to get you in silence. The only noise that will happen is you screaming.
Have you found that to be true?
Yeah, I agree with him. Yeah, it's funny. That's funny. Yeah.
They'll just get you. Okay. No one was really trying to harass and drive Bryan Kohberger insane and torment him. The inmates are taking shifts. Some inmates work out, some inmates write letters, some inmates sleep at different parts of the day. Yeah, there probably is different certain hour time blocks where some inmates will get, in that foursome, will get on the vent and talk about this or that, and then there'll be this guy and this guy, and and that's why it kind of sucks that, hey, 4th guy, we only got 4 people here. You're not participating. We could pass a lot more time if you'd contribute something. Yeah. Especially because you're new. We hadn't heard all your stories. We hadn't heard all your juice, your best stuff. I mean, that's how it goes in prison. So yeah, they're probably just giving him
Yeah, he's easy to listen to, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm going to listen to him. He's cool.
Yeah.
little crap. No one's taking shifts to drive Kohberger insane. It's a good headline for the news. I get it. But anyways, so let's, before I move on, you got this guy. I made a video explaining that, and I explained all the ways that they're able to communicate in prison, including toilets, with the water being flushed, yelling through the cracks of the doors.
What's the toilets?
I wasn't. It's certain prisons or jails or prisons, if it's laid out a certain way. I wasn't able to do that where I was, so I don't know how it exactly works. But somehow they get the water out of it, and then you can talk into it. You talk into the toilet. I can imagine seeing someone doing that and be like, "What are you doing in there? Like your head in the toilet, talking, just hanging out." Can you imagine? Yeah.
I saw. Oh, sorry. I thought you were done.
No, they connect, and so it's like, all the pipes connect, and so the sound travels. It's just funny.
I saw a prison documentary where they were doing it, and they were saying that because this one girl did it so much, it was making her face break out.
Oh, yeah. I can totally imagine. Yeah. Oh.
Sorry. I always take it there.
Yeah, anything. That's gross.
Yeah, that is gross.
Thing.
I just can't see your face in the toilet. I can't see it.
I feel like
I'm glad you never did it. I'm glad you didn't do it.
No.
And then you got this guy going on here saying, "Oh yeah, did you know they're also able to communicate through the toilets?" I wonder where you heard that from, brother. And then he gets on there and he says, "Yeah, these guys are also working together to torment." He says that the inmates have strategized as a whole, as a unit, to specifically drive Bryan Kohberger crazy. You're talking about a unit full of crazy guys who have probably been there for like 17 years in solitude, who are crazy themselves. Talking about how they have unionized to let's all get Bryan Kohberger, and we're going to do it by yelling through the vent and kicking the doors.
No.
And he says that there's a term for these people called door warriors. And he says door warriors are people who kick the door in prison to intentionally drive another inmate crazy. That is the biggest load of crap
I've never heard that.
I have ever.
Well, obviously, people weren't kicking doors at your prison.
No.
Heard in my life. First of all, a door warrior, or any variation of that slang term, is not someone who kicks the door to drive an inmate crazy. A door warrior is someone who does yell out to another inmate that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to get you. Ooh, when I see you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to stab you, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to mess you up, I'm going to F you up. Just wait until they let me out of this cell, and they let you out of your cell at the same time, and I'm going to get you. You're a door warrior, which, you know what? That is a derogatory term to have placed upon yourself. You do not want to be a door warrior. You do not want to be called that, or any variation of that term. Because really what it means is you're a guy who just, it goes back to what I said. If you're a guy who yells out, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, you just wait till this door opens. You are seen as a loser. And I get it. I know all of you are like, everyone in prison's a loser. Yeah, I know. I get it. But come on. You know what I'm saying. In that hierarchy, in that ecosystem, you are a loser. You're at the bottom of the food chain. You are a clown for even saying that. If you're going to do it, shut up and do it when you can do it. If you're yelling, most people who are yelling through the door and saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, nobody takes them serious. They'll laugh at them. They're like, oh man, there's no way that you're a door warrior. There's no way that you're woofing on the door. Woofing as in like barking, as in like all bark, no bite. You're just barking, making noise, and you're not actually going to bite. You're not actually going to do something because it's annoying.
So it sounds like he has a lot of door warriors after him, or just people trying to talk to him through the vents and just shoot the shit.
Yeah, they do that all the time. It's all day, all night. And so he's right. Like, I don't know how you would, I guess he just thinks it's all about him, or he's just saying that that's true. I don't know. I wonder if he believes it.
Yeah.
Doing that to him. Maybe. I bet you that some people are, though, but I don't think anything's coordinated. Like, I highly doubt that. It's just a lot of people have been there a long time. They don't even care. They're just like doing their own thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kohberger's got to get to the point where he doesn't care, because he's going to get a lot of stuff said to him, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Like,
how can they possibly control what's said to him? I mean,
they can't. There's no way. Like that's why they would just probably laugh at him, in my opinion.
yeah.
Be like, whatever.
Okay, Kim, thanks. Sorry, I misunderstood. Kim said it was the tape of the crime that they were analyzing. Gotcha.
Oh.
Okay, well, yeah, please email it to me and we can look at it.
Wow.
So we'll pop over to mainstream media, and just out of curiosity, this came on just before I went live. I just want to hear what they're saying about all of it. This is Banfield.
In our lives who never stops complaining. It's too hot, it's too cold, it's too salty, I'm bored. And as it turns out,
That's it. We're gonna finally get into also, he's complaining that he's not getting enough, he's not getting his food on his tray. They're not putting everything that he's supposed to get on the tray, and he's expecting them to reimburse him for what's missing.
Yeah, good luck.
was maximum security institution. That person who complains all the time is inmate number 163214. That's him, better known as Bryan Kohberger. The other night, I shared prison reports about Kohberger, and he was having a tough time in lockup. Fellow inmates were keeping him awake night and day, he said, taunting him and threatening him, making all sorts of noise. Well, tonight we've got the paperwork to prove it, and a few other things he says those fellow inmates are doing to him, things that have him afraid for his life and possibly his virginity. No joke. These are the actual handwritten complaint forms that
Do you think Kohberger's a virgin?
Is that what they're saying? Is that real?
Well, she said in his virginity. And
Wow,
it dawned on me, do you think he is? Because they were saying he was an incel.
Maybe. Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that. Interesting.
So, like,
yeah, maybe.
He may never have sex with a woman. And it sounds to me like he is not in any way bi or gay, because he's not liking what they're saying to him.
Right.
So the only way he's ever going to possibly have sex is if it's with a man or a prison woman.
True.
Prison guard. I mean,
Wow.
so like, I think if he's a virgin, he's going to stay a virgin, or he's going to be not a virgin in a different way. But
yeah, probably.
I don't know if that's considered losing your virginity. I don't know.
I don't know either. Weird.
I guess I'd have to think about that.
His handwriting is kind of surprising to me. It's really messy.
Yeah.
I kind of imagined it to be really neat. I don't know why.
Yeah, he's surprising me. He must be OCD in a way that's, I think there's probably a version of OCD that's disjointed. I know there's definitely the OCD that they can't throw stuff away.
Mhm.
So
Oh yeah, that takes so many different forms. I've seen a lot of different rituals and behaviors. It's fascinating, to say the least.
Yeah.
Bryan Kohberger has written and submitted to the prison officials at the maximum security institution in Idaho. And get a load of his handwriting. I'm going to talk about that in a moment.
Ooh.
We have his full list of complaints, even specific inmates.
That's interesting. You mentioned his handwriting, and now she's talking about it.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, very good.
That he's complaining about and naming names. Side note, those guys are not going to get any nicer now. And as a bonus, everything is written in his own handwriting. And I'm going to tell you why that's key. We've got the top world analyst in handwriting in just a moment.
What?
He knows so much about handwriting and what it tells us, and he's got fascinating insights into what he sees on these pages. But first, what do you suppose is eating Bryan Kohberger? Where do we even start? Well, from the complaint form, Wednesday, July 30th, just 6 days after he arrived at the penitentiary, he already had problems. Quote, as I continue the SPI phase, that means segregation pending investigation phase, I wish to discuss if I may be transferred to another AD seg setting. That means segregated setting.
What's AD? What's Oh, okay.
It looks. Oh yeah, that is a D. I looked like a C for a second. Yeah, administrative segregation. Sorry.
So that's what J Block would have been, that he's asking to be moved to then?
I'm not sure what that means. It would be different probably in every single prison for what, A, B block, all that different stuff.
Oh, okay.
such as B block,
Huh.
not engaging in any of the recent flooding and striking, as well as being subject to minute-by-minute verbal threats, harassment. On that and other bases, Unit 2 of J block is an environment that I wish to transfer from.
Oh.
If possible, I request
keep
transfer
on.
to B block
Oh,
immediately. I wish to speak with you soon.
It's just
I
another
wonder
building.
how he knew about B block.
Probably heard them talking or knows about it. I'm sure the maybe even the guards. I'm sure
I
he's
heard.
how the prison is.
Oh, okay.
I would guess. I mean, he probably heard people talking, that's interesting because if they're not being nice to him, I mean, maybe
Yeah.
he overheard them. I don't know.
Well, also, it just dawned on me that it was reported that he was friends with Chad Daybell. So it was Idaho that Lori's in when he first got there, and Chad was kind of showing him the ropes. So maybe Chad told that's where Chad is or something, and that's where he wants to go. That just dawned on me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because it doesn't sound like Chad's with him still. If people are, well, I mean, not that Chad could stop him from doing that, but
Yeah.
he would at least think he had a friend of some sort, I guess.
Right. For sure.
That's very special. Kohberger wants a little more comfort at the lockup where he's condemned to spend the rest of his miserable life. He even has his own recommendations about where he believes he should be moved. Isn't that nice? There was a prison captain who did reply to the reporter in writing just 2 days later, very, very politely and very professionally, I might add, saying, quote, Mr. Kohberger, on any tier at the IMSI, that is the Idaho Maximum Security Institution, there are sometimes disruptions to operations, such as residents flooding. On J2, that's where Kohberger is, it is a relatively rare occurrence. And J2 is generally a fairly calm and quieter tier. I do not think that B block would be any better for you. Give it some time. In short, F off, Kohberger, deal with it and get used to it. You're not moving anywhere. By the way, all those things Kohberger has been complaining about, apparently he's very worried about what some of the inmates have said they're going to do to him, physically and sexually. I want to get to News Nation's Bryan Enton here because Bryan Enton got his hands on the actual handwritten complaints. Before I ask you to go into the specifics, just comment on the writing because I thought I was looking at a fourth grader and I had to try to decipher what I was seeing on these handwritten forms.
He's very disjointed and disorganized, and it does surprise me. But now that we know, okay, Junie.
Yeah, I was surprised how bad. Well, I don't know, maybe surprised not the right word. I wasn't expecting his handwriting to be so bad. He has really bad handwriting, and it was also just creepy reading these because he wrote them. I guess when I knew these were coming, I was expecting they were going to be typed out. I don't know why. And then when I got them and saw the handwriting and he actually signed the bottom, I don't know why it just kind of like bothered me. But remember, actually, I toured this prison, by the way, last month. I walked through the whole thing, spent 2 hours in the prison. Yes, the inmates yell and scream and bang on the walls, and the flooding of the cells, it happens. They told me about that. They get bored and they flood their cells. They flood the sinks and the toilets. Sometimes they have to shut the water off. So it's no surprise. This is what life is going to be like at the maximum security prison. Let me read you another one of these grievances, though. This is another form that Bryan Kohberger filled out that has to do with the food, Ashley. Kohberger writes, I have on several occasions not received all items of food on my tray. I addressed this during service and have yet to receive any replacements. In fact, the kitchen is not even called. He thinks they're going to call the kitchen for him. The policy book confirms items missing, which are pointed out at the time of service, will be replaced. I wish to, without exception, receive these replacements. And under the heading, I've tried to solve this problem informally by, then he fills that part out. Kohberger wrote, addressing the issue with staff at the time of service. Then there's a part that says, I suggest the following solution for the problem. And he wrote, I wish for the items to be called for and items replaced when this occurs. The nutritional standard is not being upheld unless I've received my full tray. So he doesn't feel like he's getting.
He's a growing boy and he's not getting his proper nutrition and he's not happy.
Oh, my goodness. He talks very odd. I mean, it's not odd, but it's just I
Well,
don't
he
know.
calls his mom and dad mother and father.
Really?
That's what he like when he can't reach his mom, there's texts where he will text his father and he, like people, you half the time you don't even address them. You don't even say, "Hey dad, hey mom," you just like start typing, but he says, "Father, where is mother? I cannot reach her."
Weird.
Oh.
It kind of
But
makes sense.
yeah, it does make a lot of sense. But I wonder, like, how was he treated at prison or at jail that he thinks that this is acceptable? What the heck were they doing for him at that jail?
Yeah, maybe I don't know. He might have had was he in AdSeg there, like where he was, or PC? Like was he
I
separate
think he
from?
was, but apparently the Idaho jail is a really nice one, and well,
Oh,
one of the nicer ones. You got the tablets and all the extra bells and whistles, and they were giving them vegan or vegetarian food, and
yeah. Jeez Louise.
he acts like he's at some kind of resort or something.
Yeah, exactly. Or he must not understand that well, he will further he will understand further that they do not care. The guards do not care, nobody cares. I'm surprised he got that nice of a response back.
We have a question for you.
Hmm.
Rick says, "Hey Lindsay, got a question that may seem odd, not trying." Oh, wait a minute. Let me read it first. Oh, okay. It's not bad. Lindsay, would you do one where you go through the actual evidence and time frame match up? That always sounded fish to me with the limited evidence I saw. Always seems a railroad to be a cover up. Always seems,
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
I don't.
Amy, have you done anything like that with the evidence? I don't know all the evidence with this with Brian's case.
Yeah, when it was first happening, we have a whole playlist. We have about 30 or 40 videos on this, I think, but we could revisit it if you were what are they asking us to do? Let me see. Always seems to me some law enforcement kid crime and covered up. So you think there was a cover up? I think that Idaho police was really sloppy and they made a lot of mistakes and they didn't hold Kohberger's feet to the fire because they knew there were a lot of errors, but I 100% believe that Bryan did it, but I do think that they didn't follow. I mean, they tore down the house before they were even going to go to trial.
Right.
That's crazy.
His digital. Oh, that's right, Quantum Lee. Like, yeah, the digital evidence was pretty damning, wasn't it? Where the cell phone tower pinged, right?
Yeah, well, and they have not only the digital, they have him driving around the house continuously. They have police stops where he was surveilling the home. I mean,
Yeah.
they have where he said he was out stargazing the night of, and it was a cloudy night. I mean,
Yeah. It's a lot. It's
you know what? If I would rather go through the Delphi case and go through that evidence, because I think that case is the Good Old Boy Network really struck on that one.
Wow, yeah, you're right. I do find that case super fascinating, and I would love to see you do that. Thanks for that.
No problem, Rick. I mean, are you feeling like he didn't do it? I'm not trying to shame you or anything. Because everybody's opinion here is welcome. I don't want people to feel awkward about their opinions. And I'm not here to make you believe how I believe because I think that's ridiculous to do too.
Yeah,
So,
true.
Agree. As I was just you were thinking about the Delphi one. That one weighs on me. Did you see the docu-series that just came out on it?
A new one? Where is it
Yeah,
on?
it's over on Netflix, I think.
I'll watch it.
Hulu or Netflix. It's a 3-1. It's really good. And they also bring up a lot of doubt about, I think it's the farmer. If I, like my gut tells me it was the farmer that did
Yeah,
it.
I gotta
Yeah.
watch this then.
They even have the kid that was writing to Abby, forget his name, Anthony Schatz. It's very good. It's really good. If you watch it and you want to do more on it with me, let me know.
Yeah, because I can't remember the names and stuff too. I need to refresh on that. Oh, got it.
Lack of evidence on my time on it. Are you talking about the Kohberger case?
I think so.
As in my lack on time? Well, I know there are other channels that are doing that. I can't think of them off the top of my head. So I know there are other channels. And even Kim mentioned that there was another channel that was going over the evidence and saying that the police hid audio. I did put out an audio when the barking of the dog, and I put out something on the handprint when it was happening, but
I'm gonna
I
look at
just
that.
really feel like maybe, yeah, look at it. And I just feel like he did it. So I don't know, but we
Yeah.
can look at the evidence again.
When I first saw it, I thought, wow, this is just so, it seems like too perfect that they got him. And I was like, I wonder if this is, you know, if he's going to fight it. And then I was shocked that he pled out. I was like, well, there we have it. I mean,
Yeah.
that just really kind of got me to where I was like, yeah, because the evidence was looking pretty, I mean, it wasn't looking very good for him, you know?
Well, after the Delphi case, I've learned to never do that again, because when Delphi case came out and they got Richard Allen, I did this
Yeah.
show. I do this show with this other channel called Skincare and Suspects, and we did one, you know, we talk about skincare and crime. And I was just like, yep, they got him. He did it, you know, and we were just covering it. And then when more and more came out, I was like, dang, dang.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's him.
I know his behavior is very interesting. I mean, it
Well,
could
you're
be,
gonna see too, like in the composite, they like did one composite, they come out and it's this old man, this guy that looks just like the farmer. And
yeah.
then they come out with this composite that's like a 18-year-old boy. And then there's all these people that saw this 18-year-old boy. I don't know. And Richard said he was there. I don't know. I need to go over it more to.
Me too.
But I
Let's
just
do it.
worry that, yeah, okay, good. All right, we'll do that. So let's come back to Kohberger. Sorry, guys. But Kohberger, he's complaining about not getting the food that he wants on his tray, and he's not getting the proper nutrition. And they're going to go into his handwriting analysis.
I'm
The
curious.
food that he requires. And by the way, they eat their meals. He's in solitary confinement, by the way. Obviously, they eat their meals in the cell. They go through the door, and he says he's not getting the food that he deserves, apparently, Ashley.
I had a chance to have a chit chat with Steve Gonzalez earlier today about this, Brian Enton. And as you can imagine, he and the family are enjoying the fact that Bryan Kohberger is uncomfortable. Their daughter, Kaylee, will never be able to eat anything or hear anybody yell ever again. So this is no love lost there, as you can imagine. All right, now address these personal threats, these very, very specific personal threats. And I'm just going to give a warning, not safe for work, some of the stuff we're about to talk about.
Yeah, this is the sexual harassment complaints that he has. Let me read you this one. On August 3rd, 2025, and I want to read you the whole thing so you can really understand it. On August 3rd, 2025, resident Kohberger submitted a concern from staffing. He has been subject to threats and harassment, recently escalating to overt sexually violent threat statements. Lieutenant Milland received the concern form on August 4th, 2025, and conducted an interview with Kohberger in J Block. Kohberger stated a resident that goes by Peru told him, and I'm not going to say what it says here, BF you, basically sodomize you. Kohberger also stated an unknown resident from Tier 1 of J Block said the only A***, which you can make out what that means, will be eating is Kohberger's. Kohberger stated that Officer Signoria was present for the comment made by Peru. Due to Officer Signoria being on B nights, an interview could not be conducted to attempt to corroborate the allegation. On August 7, 2025, Officer Signoria submitted an information report outlining his involvement of the alleged incident. Officer Signoria recalls vulgar language being used and directed toward Kohberger, but could not identify who said what. The allegation is substantiated, but due to no aggressor being able to be positively identified and Kohberger saying he feels safe to remain on Tier 2 in J Block, no further actions were taken, which, I mean, it's kind of like the officer knows what happened, but I mean, come on.
It sounds to me like he knows exactly what happened. Let me see. I think this ends.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's a longer one. There's a 40-minute one. I think this is where they get into the, wait. There.
Sure, it's so great because last time it was like having just one piece of them.
Yeah, I didn't know Lindsay was going to be here, so I'm glad that you're here, Quantumly Entangled.
I
And
posted your name so that people can subscribe to you too.
oh, cool, thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like he wanted to be like a Dexter, Kim said, but messed up and got caught. I don't feel like that because Dexter was not an incel, and Dexter was supposedly, didn't he unalive people that were evil and doing bad things? These
That was
students
like his code. He said, yeah.
but
His code was to kill bad people.
yeah,
Only.
A map, and you're like,
kids were anything but bad people.
hey, tell me more, because you're like, Bart, tell me if he's evil and he's treacherous. And I was like, I can't, Ashley, but now we can. So we have like this weird, shy, anxious guy with low self-esteem and frustration, and he's got a trait called recalcitrant, which means he's stubborn and defiant like a child. And then he also has something really interesting that I have hardly ever seen in real life, which is basically most books call it a felon's claw or a injustice, a revenge seeking, and that's in this really odd D. And I want to caution the viewers at home: don't look at your writing and just assume that what I'm saying applies to you, because it's not that way. You're not a felon if you have this, but it does mean he's pissed off, he's angry, and he feels like everything is unjust. He reminds me of what they call an incel. Like if you think of this,
Is it because the D's not connecting? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I think so.
Do I connect my D's? I need to.
Sharp, kind
No,
of.
I do a line behind my D. Okay, yes. Do you connect your D's?
Sometimes. I think sometimes when I can.
stereotypical incel, just some guy in his basement mad at the world, mad at women. That's his personality. He just never grew up.
Wow.
So this we're showing on the screen is the D that you're talking about. You said it's called is it a D claw and a felon's claw? Give that to me a little more clearly. Like, what does that exactly mean when you've got that very unusual D?
So just to be clear, I've never put this in my books because I didn't like using the word felon's claw relating to anything, because people would read it and think, oh, I'm a bad person. But it does mean that people have anger and unresolved resentment going into the past, and they need to get it out. So I think it's unfair to call someone a felon. In this case, obviously we can, but the average person is like, yeah, I'm mad at my brother, mad at my sister, and it's unresolved hate, and they tend to be revengeful. So here it is in the D. It appears in other letters in the Y's and G's and other handwriting, but I've always found that to be a little dangerous when I see it in people's handwriting.
Wow.
Tell me a little bit about Kohberger's signatures. We looked at one before.
I didn't know that, but that's very interesting. I'm going to kind of look for that.
Yeah, me too. I want to look into that. Yeah.
I just did a D on my, like, with my finger, and I do the little, like, tail on my D's.
I do sometimes too.
Yeah.
Or when we had the guilty plea back in July, but now you've got his signature on the prison complaint.
Even worse on
do you
the
see
complaint.
anything in the comparison here? Is there anything that you can read into it?
Well, he's just devolving. I mean, just here by the context of what we just heard with our other interview, it's like he's anxious and it's easy to surprise, and he's I deserve better. Like he's basically a big whiny baby, and he should have thought that before he killed 4 people. But yeah, I'm not sad for him at all. Sorry to be biased, but I think
nor am I.
he's not a very bright guy.
I also said who would be, but I think there are people that are sad for him, and that.
Me too. I think there are.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he was bright. I just don't think he ever grew up. I don't think he ever matured. If you think about, John F. Kennedy's handwriting, beautiful handwriting. These are mature men. This guy's not a mature man. I don't think he ever got past 4th grade level, mentally, emotionally.
Yeah, well, that's what I felt when I looked at just the character of his actual penmanship. It just looked like it was a child. Bart, appreciate it. I could talk to you forever. Thank you so much for this.
So that is what they had to say about his penmanship.
Interesting. I like it.
It's very interesting. What do you guys think about this? Are you upset that he's not happy in prison? I kind of take some satisfaction, which I know I didn't have satisfaction, but I do have it.
I agree. I can't feel bad for him. I'm so sorry, Bryan. You know, I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say either. I don't like, I'm trying not to be a beast, but I mean, he was a beast.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And you do get what you sow in this life. If you don't believe it, look at Bryan Kohberger.
I believe that too. Yeah, absolutely.
I think he would have been better off on death row, because I think I've had people on, like I've had an ex-prison guard on and a few other people, and they've said like death row is like a little more cushy than, but looks pretty cushy where he is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have heard about death row being, you know, they have more, well, generally I've heard this about death row, that they have more, you know, things they can do. Like, I think in some prisons they'll have the TVs there. I mean, at least years ago it was like that, but now I understand they have I mean, he has a TV in there. That's so,
Yeah.
They
Well,
have
he's getting letters, he's getting money from women, and that's all happening for him. So, I mean, he probably has more money on his books than he knows what to do, and his mom is a huge supporter. So,
what do you think about, you know, how you were talking about Chris Watts yesterday about his about the women that write to him and send money and this and that? Do you think that Bryan will have any of that?
yeah, he already has it. It's already been reported that he has that, which I don't think he'll know quite what to do with it. Chris didn't know what to do with it at first, and you know, the prisoners were like, you know, you milk it, dummy.
Yeah.
But I don't know if Bryan has that ability. I think Chris is autistic, but I think he's more Asperger's. I know that's not a thing. They got rid of it, and it's all autistic. But I think before they took Asperger's away, he was more Asperger's, and Bryan is more autistic. It's been a long time. I have my BA in social psych, but the last DSM I used was a 4. I was on DSM 4 when I had to retire because I got my autoimmune. So it's been a while since I've looked at one of those, but
yeah, I don't remember either. Yeah, I don't know what it is for that.
Yeah, I don't pretend like I know these things anymore. But I think that it's a real shame that these people are having a cushy life in prison. And I think that it should be where they shouldn't have such a cushy life. Like maybe your level of crimes prevents that, opposed to another level of crime.
Right. Yeah, definitely. It's you know, that's a kind of poshy, you know, TV. I don't know. Like, I can't get over that. Sorry.
Well, like Chris Watts has pictures of his family up in his cell. Can you imagine Bryan Kohberger slapping pictures up of the girls and Ethan up in his cell? I mean, and it's legal for them to do that.
Right.
That should not be legal. And also for Chris Watts, I feel like he unalived his entire family. He's done. He shouldn't be allowed to have another wife. He took out his first wife. You're done with the wives, sir. That's how I feel. But I know we live in America and it can't be that way.
But oh gosh, what is he? Is he dating someone?
Yeah, he's supposedly engaged to. She moved from Ohio. Was it Ohio? Yeah, Cleveland, Ohio to Wisconsin, and yeah. And his mom and dad have been really sick. His mom had either a hip replacement or a knee, and his dad had a heart attack. So he's looking for his future because he's going to need somebody to take care, like, you know, take care of him, I guess. I don't know.
Crazy.
On the outside for him because his sister's not going to do it. But let's so watch that docuseries on the Delphi case, and we'll get I'll go in and I'll look at the email and we'll schedule something for like there's a few cases that I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Mackenzie. Have you been following these new cases about the woman that was changing her baby and she says the baby was kidnapped?
No. What's her name?
AMP. Let me pull this up really quick. Okay. I'm having a hard time remembering her name for some reason.
I don't think I've seen it. I can't remember. I don't think so.
Okay, it's this one. And there's also the one where the sheriff shot the judge.
I haven't seen that yet.
And it's like they were having sex parties at the jail, and the judge was having sex with the people he was putting into jail in his courtroom. So that one looks like a good juicy one to follow.
I gotta see that. Oh my gosh.
I know, that's a good one. So all right, so let me get this case up on the stage. It's this one right here. She's giving me Susan Smith vibes.
You think the devil has, so did I.
From Big Five, somebody struck my wife while she was trying to change his diaper. And we just ask if anybody knows anything to please contact Ukaipa Police Department.
Don't hesitate, just call.
His name's Emmanuel. He's 7 months. He's 7 months old.
Have you been notified of any information yet by local authorities?
No, we have not.
They're
They haven't told us nothing.
They said they don't have any major updates.
Do you guys plan on doing a local search of your own?
We are
Yeah, we
at
have
4 o'clock here at Kaiba. I fell on the floor and I got up. I couldn't find my son. I got him out of the car seat and I laid him down and so I could get his diapers ready. And somebody said, "Hola," and that's all I remember. And I saw white. And a hearing sound, I fell on the floor and I said, as I got up, I couldn't find my son. I checked around my truck and I ran into Big Five and I asked the lady if she saw a baby or someone with a baby. She said no. It was a happy boy. He smiled.
Whoever took our son, please give him back.
The search for this 7-month-old baby boy continues. Police and the family desperate to find out where he is.
And so the police say you can drive his name is Emmanuel Harrow. The police say that you can drive a truck through her story. It's so bad. So
that's crazy.
I want to take a look at that. And then this is the other one. This one right here.
Sheriff shot and killed the judge right in the judge's chambers. I'm investigating what happened, and there is a lot more to the story. Allegations of a secret sex ring. I'm looking into all of it for this edition of Bryan Investigates. Hey guys, so I've got two really, really interesting interviews coming up from Kentucky. First of all, a woman who I spoke to who said that she had sex with the judge countless times. The judge who was murdered. She said she had sex with him countless times to get out of crimes, and she says that is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the corruption. Also, a jailer, a different woman who worked in the jail as a guard, who says that there were sex parties going on in and around the jail, and she goes into detail. So you're going to hear from both of those women in a second. First, let me give you guys some of the backstory here, catch you up if you haven't been following this case. Former Letcher County Sheriff Sean Mickey Steins has been jailed since the killing last September of the judge. It was caught on surveillance camera. This is in Whitesburg, Kentucky. That's where I was. And again, just think about this. This is a sheriff, the county sheriff, killing the judge. So this is extreme.
So it's extremely rare, I would say.
Yeah, that's wow.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna
this is my channel right here. Someone asked to see what my channel was.
I was just gonna put it there too, but if you got it, go for it.
There it is.
Awesome.
We do Soulful Sundays where we talk about kind of like spiritual and paranormal stuff. So we do that on Sundays, and then the rest of the time we're mainly true crime. So
love it.
Okay, well, Lindsay, thank you for coming. What a great surprise.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I was excited to watch you this morning, so thank you for having me come on up and let's chat. I'll email you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. See you later. Bye, babe. Okay, guys, I'm so excited she was here. I love talking to Lindsay. She's a lot of fun. She's got that energy that people are attracted to. I see it. And I'm glad that she's starting to guard that a little bit. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. What do you think about Bryan Kohberger? I personally am not too tore up about it and am actually a little, maybe too gleeful about his unhappiness, but I'll try to manage that because I do try not to be happy about people's unhappiness, but man, I'm a little happy about it. I'm not going to lie. It's making my Thursday. My little bird's done with his shower, so we're going to go play and get some tweets. You want to get some tweets, baby? Yeah? Okay, guys, I'm going to go. Be sure to, I want to say a huge shout out, a thank you to our sponsor today, Wild Deodorant. I use Wild because I have autoimmune issues. Also, because of those autoimmune issues, I kind of sweat like a dude. So if you're a guy and you're thinking that this is only for women, no, this is for both men and women. They have various scents. They have feminine scents, masculine scents, or no scent at all. So thank you. If you decide to try it out, let me know if you like it. If you use our code PARAWOMEN, you'll get 20% off your first order. Thank you, Wild, for sponsoring us. And guys, I'm going to go. If nobody's told you this today, and even if they have, I'm still telling you guys this. You have made a huge difference in my life. And I love you guys so, so much. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
I miss my cube, baby, I had you. Miss my cube, but I had you for that day. Here in the blue, I'm falling deep.
Be sure to give this live a thumbs up. Helps me go out into the algorithm party out there. Bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help me.
Baby, I'm dancing with you tonight, and it feels fine, feels fine. Baby, I'm dancing with you tonight. Here in the blue, I'm dancing and falling out, hoping for some time with you.